Real quick, the only ask I could ever have of you guys is to help spread the word so we can help more women lose body fat, build muscle, reach their goals, and feel insanely confident. And the only way we can do that is if you rate, review, and share this podcast. So, the single thing I ask for you to do is if you could leave a review. It will take you 10 seconds and it will mean the absolute world to me and may change the world of someone else. If you are somebody that has a poor mindset around your journey and is stuck in wanting to see these results, it's not whether you go and do more workouts. It's not whether you're consistent with your macros. Even more, it's like you need to fix that aspect of the poor mindset that you have around wanting these quick results and wanting them fast and wanting them yesterday, or trying to work out harder and slash your calories because you want quick results. Like, that's not the answer. What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Macro Hour with Nikkiey Stott, co-founder of WarriorBabe. And on this podcast, we talk about mindset, methodologies, and tactics that will help you lose body fat, build muscle, be strong, and feel insanely confident. I'm your host, Nikkiey Stott, and welcome to today's episode. We got episode number 198. We are 2 away from the 200th episode of this podcast. Let's go. I hope you guys are enjoying these podcasts and these episodes. I freaking love sitting down here and getting to pour into each and every single one of the episodes, just hoping that you guys gain insight, gain value, gain knowledge, gain something that you can take away and go apply it to your life. And then hopefully in turn, you get some type of positive result that comes from you doing that, from you listening to this episode, from me sitting down here and recording them. So crazy that we are so close to 200 and so many more to come, guys. Thanks for being supporters of this podcast. So for today, I want to talk about, so I told you guys in the last episode, I think, like I put up on my Instagram story, that little like questions box where I ask you guys what topics you want me to bring to this episode, to the episodes here on the podcast. And one of you guys mentioned that you wanted to hear what it actually means to trust the process. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, I want to start this off with something that I found on Instagram that was kind of going viral. Not kind of, I think it was actually going viral. And then it was shared amongst our entire coaching team inside of our company communication channels. And so I think it's really good to start it off with this because I just think it's really good to start off with this. So this is what the post said. So you're telling me that for a decade you binge drank alcohol and caffeine, took Adderall and hormonal birth control, pulled all-nighters, skipped meals, over-exercised, depleted all your mineral stores, avoided carbs like the plague except for 4 a.m. greasy drunk food, lathered yourself in poisonous tanning lotions before fake baking, put bleached tampons in your vagina every month, were addicted to chaos and toxic relationships, lived in moldy apartments, spent years performing, people pleasing, and comparing yourself to the fake lives of IG influencers, and now you're frustrated that you're not miraculously healed 3 months into your health and healing journey. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but healing from an abusive lifestyle can take years. It's going to take time, consistency, and surrender to communicate to your body that it's safe and its needs are being met before you notice drastic shifts. So I'm not saying that like you did all of those things, but maybe you did all of those things, or maybe you did some of those things, or maybe you did a few of those things, or maybe you did one of those things. Regardless of that, entire statement, the whole thing that I want you to take away from that is all of those things that you did to your body over the years and how many years you did it for probably the past decade, maybe 10, 15, 20 years that you've been on this, wanting to be on the right path with your fitness journey or healing journey or your health journey. You got to remind yourself that you did 10 years of that, 15 years of that, 20 years of that. So it's going to take time. Like if you are 3 months into your journey and you're not miraculously seeing the results that you want to, like, I hope this is a really solid reminder that you just spent the last 10 years doing harm to your body and it's not going to be solved in 3 months. It's going to take time. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take you to surrender and like accept that like this journey is going to be possibly a year, 2 years, maybe even 5 years, maybe even 8 years to get everything right. Like there's going to be different phases of your journey. Once at one point, maybe aesthetics and getting that, or maybe just internally and fixing that, or maybe that you need to like stretch and who knows. All in all, to say like, it's going to take time to basically see the dramatic results that you want to see. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen. I always say in 30 seconds, people want to put their body in a microwave and out comes a tone body. Like it takes time. So I want to really talk about what trusting the process really looks like and dive into that. And you've probably heard that phrase over and over and over and over again, especially in the fitness world. Like, trust the process. Your coach says, trust the process. You've been telling yourself, trust the process. Like, what does that actually mean? And that's what we're going to dive in today. So again, like to kind of reiterate, if you're feeling frustrated that you're not seeing progress or your progress is too slow, if you've ever wondered if you're doing everything the right way, or if you think you are doing it the right way, but you're still not seeing the results that you want, then I hope today that you gather like the concept of trusting the process and why patience and trusting the process are the real keys to like you unlocking the true potential within yourself. And it has nothing really to do with macros. It has nothing to do with workouts. Like this is more so the mindset aspect of this podcast. If you can accept that's the key to unlocking your potential along your journey, that's all I hope that you take away from this podcast, and truly understanding the patience that is required of you to trust the process. Okay. So first, let's break it down into what does trusting the process really mean? So I think personally that this phrase gets thrown around a lot without people fully understanding the true depth of it. It's very surface level when people say it. It's like, you got to trust the process. But trusting the process means believing in the journey that you're on wholeheartedly, even when you don't see the immediate results that you want to. It's about sticking to your plan, whether it's your workout routine, whether it's your nutrition, whether it's your overall approach, whether it's like saying your overall, the language that you're saying to yourself, the narrative that you're telling yourself, the beliefs that you're breaking. It's sticking to that plan because you understand that real progress takes time. When you trust the process, you're essentially committing to a long-term vision for yourself. And this is where I think a lot of people like it breaks, because people get into it wanting to see immediate results like next week or the week after. And so when that vision doesn't happen for them, they get frustrated or discouraged that that this isn't working. And so they try and change everything up. You have to essentially commit yourself to a long-term vision. Like you have to basically tell yourself at the start that this is going to take 12 months. This is going to take 18 months. This is going to take 2 years. This is going to take 5 years, like wherever you're at. Like if you have 100 pounds to lose, like it's going to take time. You didn't just put those 100 pounds on. If you have the last 10 pounds to lose, okay, mind you that the last 10 pounds is sometimes the hardest to lose. So you have to give yourself that time. Like you have to really commit, like be realistic with yourself and commit to the long-term vision. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a week. Like you have to be willing to put in the work consistently, even when it feels like nothing is happening. And I know that can be tough. I know that we live in a world that values quick results, but you can get same day delivery on just about everything in this world. You can get same day delivery on everything in this world. You can binge watch an entire series on one weekend. You get Amazon Prime the next day. And you're constantly exposed on social media to before and after photos of these transformations that seem to happen in a matter of weeks. But listen to me loud and clear. Fitness, health, like true transformations, they don't work like that. There's some people that are promoting those things online that happen in 3 months or 6 months, but there's also probably a handful of people that aren't being promoted on social media that are taking a year and 2 years. That is seriously what we pride ourselves on in WarriorBabe. We pride ourselves on that, we celebrate the women that have had results no matter where along their journey, but especially the ones that have been with us for 2 years and have had a true blown full on life transformation. Your body, all in all, to say this, like it's you really what it means is believing the journey you're on. You have to believe the journey you're on. And I think that's really hard for people to understand when they're also just at the start of their journey. Like the belief in self is hard to come by. So like why I think working with a coach or like finding a program that you love to do and that you're going to commit to yourself to doing it is that you buy belief. Like the coach is there believing in you already before you believe in yourself. So that helps to trust the process a little bit more. But it's not only it's believing in yourself and believing the journey that you're on, but it's also sticking to your plan, regardless of like if you're seeing like results or not, because you have to understand that progress takes time, that you have to commit yourself to that long-term vision. And that you're understanding that your body takes time to adapt, it takes time to change, and it takes time to grow stronger. And that's where patience comes into play. So really like that's what trusting the process means. But like there's other buckets of the trust of the process that you have to trust when it comes to patience, when it comes to the reality of long-term results. So just like putting those buckets in your brain, I'm going to slightly tap on them a little bit. Patience in your fitness journey. One of the hardest but most important qualities that you can develop is that when it comes to your journey. When you're working towards a goal, especially something as challenging as building muscle, as losing body fat, as transforming your physique, as correcting something internally that may be off, like your gut health or your hormones, it's so easy to get discouraged when you aren't seeing the instant results. And I know that through and through because we see women inside of our community that are with us for 3 months and they're frustrated and they take their frustration on their coach. But here's the thing. Your body is still constantly working. And that's what I want you to understand. Even if you don't see it right away, behind the scenes, after every single workout, your muscles are repairing, they're rebuilding. Your metabolism is adapting to new nutritional intake that you're giving your body that maybe you once weren't giving your body. And your strength is increasing little by little with every single workout. So think of it like this. It's basically like planting a seed. Like you won't see the plant sprout immediately, but you trust that when you water the plant on a day-to-day basis, when you give it the right sunlight, you give it the right time, that plant's going to grow, right? Fitness is the same way. Your journey is the same way. The process that you were on is the same way. Every workout, every meal, every rest day, every positive thing that you tell yourself too, because it's not just like every workout or every macro that you eat or like the way that you, the surface level things that will help you get to your goals. It's really the mindset that you have behind this, that if you can accept what I'm saying here, that every single one of those efforts that you put forth on a daily basis is like watering that seed. So you might not see the progress every single day, but that doesn't mean that nothing is happening. It doesn't mean that that change isn't happening. Like it is. And sometimes it's really hard to see. Like I know from over the years of coaching women that they're putting in the work on a regular basis, 2-3 weeks in a row. And because you see yourself every single day, it's really hard to see the small changes that are actually happening. So that maybe when you walk into like your dentist office or you walk into like your chiropractor, or you walk in to somewhere that those people don't see you every single day. They see you maybe once a quarter, once every 3 months. And they're like, oh my God, you're looking so good. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know, you can tell that you're toning up. That you're showing a little bit more definition, right? Like that I know happens. And that's an example of that you see yourself every single day, but that's example of that you probably don't see the progress daily yourself, but it doesn't mean that nothing's not happening. It doesn't mean that change isn't happening. Like those things are still happening behind the scenes. And these small little changes are going to add up over time. You just have to be patient with yourself and you have to be patient with the journey. But like it all starts with what I said at the beginning of this episode is like, you need to understand that it's going to take time. And like, I hope this is like getting, like, it's making sense to you guys. Like, I know it's like, you hear this all the time, you hear trust the process, but like, do you believe in your journey? Are you still sticking to your plan, even if you aren't seeing the results that you want to? Are you committed to the long-term vision? Because I think essentially, like if you have those 3 things down, patience will come because then if you feel like you're slipping into the not being patient, you're going to remind yourself of those 3 things. Quick break. If you're finding this episode helpful so far, it would mean a lot if you could hit pause for just a second, leave a quick rating or a review, or share it with someone who could benefit from it. Your support helps more women discover these tools to build muscle, lose fat, and feel confident. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me. So ask yourself there right now, like, do you believe in yourself to do this journey? Are you still sticking to the plan even if you're not seeing the results that you want? And are you committed to the long-term vision that you have for yourself, maybe in 2 years or 3 years? Have you even thought about that? What does that even look like? Maybe you need to take time to spend time in that thought process. Because then it comes down to like understanding that with that, and with you doing the work, and with you, maybe not seeing the changes on a daily, weekly, or even sometimes a monthly basis, that long-term results take time. So whether it's that you want to see fat loss, whether it's that you want to see more muscle gain, or that you just want to maintain, the timeline for like a real sustainable change is longer than people expect. And that's like the hard truth. Like, what's that saying? Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither was your dream physique. Neither was your dream body. Neither was your dream mindset that you have along this journey. Fast results are often unsustainable results. And I want to remind you guys of that. When you're doing extreme dieting, or you're doing overtraining, or you might, do all those weird things that I said at the beginning of the podcast, you will give anything to get quick results. And so you will try quick fixes, but those approaches often lead to burnout, to plateaus, or even regaining lost weight. So understanding that slow and steady wins the race, truly, because it gives your body time to adjust and adapt to the changes that you're making. So for example, when you're building muscle, it takes time for those muscle fibers to repair and to grow stronger. So you might not see the visible changes in the mirror for weeks, but that doesn't mean that you're not progressing forward. The same goes for fat loss. It's not just about seeing the number on the scale go down quickly. It's about creating a sustainable lifestyle that allows you to maintain the progress long term. So those are really important concepts to understand. And sometimes they're hard to understand because we all want quick results. We all want things to happen pretty fast. But again, going back to like, are you in line with those 3 things that I mentioned? And if not, which bucket do you need to spend more time in? And which one do you need to maybe create more of a thought process around so that you can get back behind it? Maybe it's a narrative. I think the narrative in a lot of people's brains is the one that's stopping people from moving forward on their fitness journeys. It's, I can't do this. This is too hard. I'm not good enough. I don't believe in myself. Like all of those things that may be creating these past emotions that then you live in, and therefore you aren't taking the necessary action. Kind of like what I talked about with the mindset with episode, what was that? Maybe like 5 or 6 episodes ago, where I was talking about like Joe Dispenza, which by the way, you guys, Joe Dispenza, I highly recommend listening to his content, immersing yourself in what he has to say and his message. Because if you are somebody that has a poor mindset around your journey and is stuck in wanting to see these results, it's not whether you go and do more workouts. It's not whether you try and, you're consistent with your macros. Even more, it's like you need to fix that aspect of the poor mindset that you have around wanting these quick results and wanting them fast and wanting them yesterday, or trying to work out harder and slash your calories because you want quick results. Like, that's not the answer. So where are those thought processes coming from so that you can understand that they are affecting you in a way of which you think and feel, and the way that you think and feel is in how you're going to progress throughout your day. You could be stuck in old emotions that you don't even know, that are of the past, of which you saw your mom dieting over and over and over again. So you then have these thoughts, you do the same thing, and those thoughts attach onto these feelings, and then those feelings are how you take action on a daily basis. So I could go down a whole spiral on that specific concept, but I think that's really important to just nudge in there for you to think about, if you have emotions or thoughts that aren't supporting you in your journey, how can you rewire those thoughts and emotions to be more positive in your day so that you create new feelings, and then therefore you create new actions that are going to move you forward. to achieving your goals. And then that will, on top of that, help you to understand the patience and trust in the process even more. So it's like you can trust the process at a surface level, what I said of like, trust the process, believe in yourself, commit to the plan, stick to the plan, commit to the long-term vision. But if your mindset, basically what I'm saying on all of this, like if your mindset isn't there for you to allow yourself to do those things, and you have to fix the mindset, and you have to fix the narrative, and you have to fix the belief, and you have to fix the stories that you're telling yourself so that you create new, better feelings and better emotions that are going to drive you into action to actually accept patience and to accept the hard truth that sustainable change is longer than you think, and that long-term results take time. Let's go. I hope that landed. And if it didn't land, go and rewind that so that you can listen to it again, because it's a pretty high level thought process concept to break down and understand, or like a complex thought process to break down and understand. But if you do, and you put your energy towards the right things that are going to help you, which is your mindset, then it'll serve. That's probably the golden nugget of this entire podcast. Because I'm going to go back to a little bit of like common things that I see people doing, common mistakes that I see people doing, practical tips for you guys to trust the process, because that's what I like to do in episodes is basically give you takeaways. Like if you are experiencing this or feeling this way, then like this is a way that you could take it and apply it in a practical sense throughout your day to day. So the first and foremost big common mistake, and I get it, like we're all human. I want to first and foremost say that it's so easy to feel frustrated when you don't see the progress that you want to see. But that's when like these big mistakes happen. So first and foremost is constantly changing your program. Like if you are constantly falling in the trap of program hopping from one program to the next program or one app to the next app, you do one workout for a few weeks and then you don't see the results that you want, so you immediately switch to another program. Here's the problem. Consistency is key. And so jumping from one thing to the other doesn't give your body enough time to adapt and to grow stronger in that specific protocol and routine. Why people in the WarriorBabe program, maybe after 4 or 5 months, try and jump to another program because they're not seeing the results and they feel like they're stuck and they only have 12 months because that's what we offer WarriorBabe. And if they don't have the results in the first 3 months, they jump to another program. But like you're not, think about what I said at the beginning of the podcast again. You just spent the last decade, 15 years basically harming your body and doing extreme things or whatever you've done. And so it's going to take time for your body to adapt to a new protocol. And so when you come into WarriorBabe, we always want to bring in more food. And so it's going to take time for your body to adapt to that if you've spent the last decade under eating. So you can't jump ship after 3 to 4 months. You have to allow your body enough time to adapt and to grow stronger with that specific protocol. So that's a big mistake that I see, is constantly changing programs because people aren't seeing the results that they want fast enough. Obviously, the other ones are pretty well, like I pretty much talk about these all the time in these episodes, but number 2 is extreme dieting. If people don't see quick results from their diet, then they often cut their calories in half. Or even more. They eliminate entire food groups. They eliminate entire macros. And while that's going to work temporarily, like I will be honest with you, it's going to work temporarily, but it's going to lead you to fatigue, to nutrition deficiencies, and eventually to you binging or giving up. And so the key to success is a balanced, sustainable plan that you're able to follow and you're able to stick to long term. That's why at WarriorBabe, and it's like I just am naturally bringing in what I have built over the last 6 years and has helped 20,000 women in. So like this is the only thing that I know how to talk to, or not the only thing I know how to talk to, but it's something that is a protocol that's been embedded for the last 6 years, and how we go about supporting our women is with macros. Like I don't expect you to stick to macros long term, but I expect you to understand. Like I don't expect you to be tracking. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't expect you to be tracking for the rest of your life, but I do expect you to understand and learn and gain insight and knowledge and education around macros, which is basically nutrition and a sustainable plan for you to follow. So that's going to stick with you in the long term. And I talked about that in the episode of intuitive eating and how to confidently transition to intuitively eating. Basically, macros is like the first step. And that is a balanced, sustainable plan that you can stick to long term. So that was the second one, extreme dieting. Don't eliminate entire food groups. Don't slash your calories. Please just give it time. And if you're new to WarriorBabe and you're like 3 months in, you're not seeing the results, but you're eating more food, just trust the process. And what I mean is by trusting the process is like you're believing in yourself, you're sticking to the plan even when things aren't happening, and you've committed to the long-term vision of yourself. Think about those 3 buckets, okay? And then with that, the last mistake I see is because people want things to happen so fast and so quickly is that they're not tracking small wins. The mistake that I see is only focusing on the end goal and not celebrating the small victories that you have along the way. Did you lift heavier this week? Did you do one more pull-up than you could do last time? Did you track all your macros and then eat all your meals more consistently? Did you focus on healthier food choices more consistently? Those are wins and they matter. That is you watering the seed on a daily basis so the plant can grow. Progress that you're going to experience along your journey is not always linear. And it's important to recognize that these little things that you are doing on a daily basis add up over time. So that's another mistake I see is not tracking or paying attention to these small things because you are so attached to getting to the end result and getting to it quickly. If you do that, you're going to disappoint yourself over and over and over again. So when I say that you're committed to the long-term vision, you're committed to long-term vision, but you're sticking to the plan no matter what on a daily basis. And that requires a level of patience and consistency and commitment and almost like a detachment away from the end goal, because you know that the day-to-day matters more, so that if you do the day-to-day and that compounds over time, it's going to get you to the end goal no matter what. And that you believe in yourself. Okay. So some practical tips for you guys to be able to take away from this episode and go apply it into your everyday. Track non-scale victories. Okay, it's easy to get caught up in the scale, but remember, progress isn't just about your weight. There's other wins. So track how your clothes fit, track out the strength gains that you're seeing, track about the narratives, track about your energy, track about how you're feeling, talk about your emotions. Like, are you feeling better 3 months into your journey than maybe you felt 3 months ago? Your energy level, that matters. There's often more telling indicators those are often more telling indicators of long-term success. Celebrate small wins. Okay. That's really important. As I just reiterated, progress is progress no matter how small. Remind yourself. This one's the most important one that I think you could take away. Remind yourself of the long-term game. Whether you feel impatient or you feel discouraged, remind yourself why you started. Why did you start this journey? And I think this one is so important. And one of the things that our coaches do inside of WarriorBabe is like, we don't just talk about your goal. We're talking about why do you want that goal? Like, what does that goal mean to you? And it's not like surface level stuff. It's not like, I want to lose 10 pounds. Why do you want to lose 10 pounds? Oh, well, I don't want my kids to grow up like my mom. Like how I saw my mom with dieting and doing all these things. Like, I want to set a better example and be a role model for my kids. That's a deeper why. That's going to make you want to get up every single day and do the things that you know you should be doing that are in alignment with that. Or when you get even a little bit deeper, there's maybe some things with your partner that you feel like that you could be more confident within. And so you want to lose 10 pounds to feel more confident in your own skin so you can show it for your husband, maybe be naked with the lights on when you guys are like having a night. You know what I mean? Like, those things are deeper. And that's when you have that why, then you're able to remember why you're on this journey. And when you're able to remind yourself why you started it, that's going to make you feel more patient and feel more courage to show up on a day-to-day basis. Fitness is about creating a lifestyle that you can sustain for years. And I've talked about that so many times. It's not just achieving a quick fix. So keep that long-term vision in mind and trust that each day each day that you show up, you do the work, it's bringing you closer to that goal. All right. So those are just some practical takeaways. Track non-scale victories, celebrate small wins, remind yourself of the long game. Also, maybe journal. That one's kind of coming up to me now. Journal on a daily basis how you're feeling about the process, how you're feeling about your goals. But overall, what it means to truly trust the process, it means showing up consistently, doing the work, and believing that even when you don't see immediate results, progress is happening. It means having patience with yourself, with your body, and knowing that the things that you just did for the last 10 years that fucked your body up, it's going to take time to fix what you've done to your body. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in 3 months. It's not going to happen in maybe it'll take you a year. Maybe it'll take you 5 years. Just have patience. It's a long game. And if you stay committed, you will get there. This is the thing, you only fail by giving up. Think about that. So if you stay committed, you're going to get there. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency. It's just about how can you show up today that's still in alignment with where you want to go and your goals that you want to accomplish. So believe in yourself, stick to the plan, even when you're not seeing the immediate results week after week. Know that it's happening maybe month after month. Okay. And then commit yourself to the long-term vision. That's what trusting the process really means. And then along the way, show up consistently for yourself. All right, guys. Love y'all. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next podcast. Peace out. Hey, really quick, before you go, I have one small favor to ask. If this episode brought you value or sparked something in you, take just a moment to hit that review button. Your rating and review make all of the difference, helping more women discover the tools they need to transform the fitness and their confidence. It takes less than a minute, but it can change the path of someone else's journey. Thank you so much for leaving that review. I appreciate you so much.